If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Louse on the Road subscribers and followers. Susan asked me today, are we living the dream that we thought we would be living? I replied back, no, we're not. Although we are happy with what we're doing, we're not living this life that we thought we would have. And she based this question based on several of the videos I've just recently made. You know, are we safe out here? You know, folks shooting firearms while drinking, trying to find water, the weather. But it's not what we thought it was, and it's not what was advertised. A lot of YouTubers have advertised. Trust me, Carolyn and I got swept up by this lifestyle that is suggested on YouTube videos. And it's hard not to. If nobody is telling you the negative aspects of the lifestyle, and they're only telling you the positive aspects, and they're showing you all this beautiful stuff day after day after day, you don't have any reason to believe that there's a negative side to it. Now, you can tell yourself, oh, there's got to be some negatives to it, but you don't get to really fully analyze what that is. So you get swept up into it, just like we did. I mean, Carolyn and I thought that we would be traveling a lot more than we do. We spent the entire last summer in Virginia, West Virginia area, and we just kind of planted ourselves there. You know, I had this plan that we were going to go stay on the ocean, on the beach. Well, come to find out, there wasn't any place to camp over there. There was no boondocking option. And now that we're over here kind of in the West, we're actually in South Dakota, and I've made video about water and how hard it is to find. And really, you don't find a lot of videos that says that water is just really complicated to find. The only video that I really watched that suggested, even coming close to suggesting, that water was going to be an issue was somebody said that you could go into town and you could buy water. Well, I got to doing some math. It would, at 35 cents, if we were to go to town at 35 cents a gallon, it would cost us $56 a month in water, and that's if we conserve water. Now, if you put that in perspective, we were only spending $20 a month in water at our house. So it doesn't make sense to be going out and buying all this water while we're out here. It's not cost effective. And that's the key, is how much money are you really willing to spend to go do all these things. I made a video just not that long ago where I talked about, are you really free living out here? And I gave all the reasons why you may not be as free as you think you are. And the key and the big one for us is money. I mean, we can't travel all over the country just as fast as we want to go. We'd run out of money before we knew what happened to us. Well, sure enough, somebody commented and get into this mindset that, well, when I'm out here, I'm going to be free because today I might be in Tennessee and enjoying life, but when I'm ready to move, maybe I can go to Maine. Well, I don't think anybody really can visualize how much money that is. I mean, we spent a fortune in a 2-month period trying to get from Florida to South Dakota. It took our gas expense just totally. That means that now that we're in South Dakota, we're sitting still for a while so we can recoup some of the losses that we spent in gas. You got to have a budget. So I made another video just recently about the weather and how it has not cooperated with us at all the last year. When we were in Virginia, West Virginia, it was in the 50s all the time. And, you know, I had to wear a flannel shirt. It was cold, wet. And then someone commented, well, I don't have that problem because I got the greatest sleeping bag in the world. And I'm warmer than anybody can possibly be. But what do you do during the day? Are you in the sleeping bag 24/7? So I think folks get into this mindset, well, okay, Rob has identified a problem, and I have the solution by having a sleeping bag. But they don't think about the whole problem. Or that you're down in Florida and it's 39 degrees and you're taking a shower. That is just mind-numbing cold is what that is. Got another comment about that too. Well, don't worry about it. I got the greatest heater in the world. It's going to be perfect. Don't worry about it. Okay, you have the greatest heater, but what are you going to do when you have to go outside and take a shower? No matter what you see in a video, somehow the brain fantasizes something else. Now, I have a Facebook group. Every day I ask a question, and one of those questions I ask, what do you do to stay warm or cool? And so people reply back, and they tell me what they are going to do, what they are doing, and what kind of tools they have, and how much money they spend on it. But you always know the ones that are really living this lifestyle because they nail it every time. And one of them said, well, to be honest, I've tried to go up an elevation, but I didn't have a cell phone signal. Yeah, you get it. You get it. I went up an elevation, didn't have a cell phone signal. I got to have a cell phone signal, so I came back down, and it is just miserably hot, is what she said. In order to avoid going insane, I take a nap during the midday, so I don't have to endure this heat. That is exactly someone who is living this lifestyle and realizes it is not what we fantasize it to be. And then someone else said, and perfectly, because it was right in tune with what my video said, and I thought, well, who gave you the script of my video? But he said, you know, the best weapon you're going to have against the elements is just being mentally prepared for it. So he gets it. He knows what I'm talking about, that the videos that you're watching and the fantasy that you've created in your head, the fantasies that I created in my head, are not based on the reality of what it is actually like out here. I thought, Carolyn and I both thought, that every place we stayed was just going to be, you know, the perfect scenery. And no matter how many times I say, oh, you know, we haven't really got to see the things we always say, people always tell me, well, you should come here. Okay, we should come there, and I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing that we should come here. But you got to have the money to come here. I mean, there's still this money thing that you have to get over. We have only stayed probably in one place that we really imagined what this adventure would be like. So after a year and a half, we stayed for 14 days. I don't even think it was that long. I think it was 12 days before we got kicked out because the Rangers were getting frustrated with people leaving the gates open. Now, the other thing is the amount of time that you have to spend trying to obtain water. Now, I knew it was going to rain, so I set up the tarp, which took me several hours to set up the tarp so I could start collecting rainwater. Well, it started raining in the middle of the night. Well, that means, okay, I got to get up. I got to be ready to switch out buckets. And so out in the middle of the night, I don't know, 55, 60 degrees, it's raining. And then the next day, you're up all day. Your feet are sopping wet by this point. I mean, socks, forget about socks. Your shoes are soaked. You're just hopelessly in trouble. And now you're having to filter all that dirty water that just came off the roof of your camper. So you got water you can use. This is the reality, is there's going to be something that you feel is going to hold you up from this fantasy that you've created in your head, just like me. I mean, I'm just as guilty. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And